Okay. Hello everyone. So, I thought I would do a ranking slash overview of everything we got in 2025 in Galaxy of Heroes. I am going to apologise if I start yawning. I'm recording this very late on New Year's Eve. Well, technically it's New Year's Day. Basically had to stay up for the dogs because lots of fireworks, so had to stay up for them, and I thought, well, while I'm awake I'll record this video. So this is what Arnold used in his video, so that's what I'm going to be using, and basically I'm going to go through everything, rank it all, and then for favourite unit, I'm going to be putting a conquest unit, a marquee unit slash team, a ship, and a journey guide character. So, let's start. Let's start off with Darkside Vision Ray. Absolutely amazing. She is the only conquest unit I've been able to red crate. I unlocked her day one. Absolutely love her. No complaints whatsoever. She lifts Supreme Leader Kylo Ren amazingly. Also lifts, if you don't have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, she works great with Kylo Ren unmasked. Like, she is amazing. I will also say, because I forgot to earlier, the way that I'm going to rank these is dependent on how important they are to their team. So, in terms of the Bad Batch, like, one character would be lower because they're not super important, or they're just the weaker member on the team. Yeah, I think it's the most fair way to to rank them, because if you try and rank them just as a standalone character, you're not, like, they're all going to be pretty bad. So, yeah, Rey, absolutely at the top, no question about it. Next, Omega Fugitive, also going to put in amazing, mainly because she is the most important member of her team, but also you can use her outside of a Bad Batch lineup. You can use her with the regular Bad Batch if you really wanted to. You can use her with basically anyone, because her cooldown reduction, that's just for all allies. It doesn't rely on them being a Bad Batch member. So that's why she's at the top. Next up, Batcher. I'm going to put Batcher here in Reluctant Farm / OK. Because Batcher is definitely the weakest out of these 5 Bad Batch members. I was at the point where when I was building my Bad Batch, it was, I actually considered leaving Batcher and putting in the original Omega, and then into the old Bad Batch team just to throw in Shock T or something like, or come up Cody or just something like that. So I think for that, Batcher does have to go in there. The main reason why I built her up was because you needed her with the other Bad Batch members in the Order 66 raid. If they weren't needed for the raid, I might have actually just not done Batcher at all. So that's why she's down there. Hunter, I'm gonna put him in good. I think he's definitely not as important as Omega, but he's definitely better than Batcher. especially in the raid, or just in general. This will hurt. It's very helpful when he calls a lot of assists and can reduce the target's defense if they're marked on its basic ability. So I think that's a good place to put Hunter. Wrecker. Ooh, where to put Wrecker? I'm gonna put him in good as well. Mainly because when I end up using him, he ends up being stun locked for quite a long time, which, I mean, that is his job. You know, he is the tank of the team. He is supposed to take the brunt force of everything. But then he kind of just ends up, he's just the tank, and you don't really get to use any of his abilities, which is a shame because they're quite good. He's got a buff dispel on the basic. He's got disarm on his first special, which also, if he's got enough stacks of Soldier of Fortune, he grants turn meter to both himself and the weakest ally. And his second special is a cleanse. So, like, he does have good abilities, but you don't really get to use him. He's just either going to be stun locked or in captive. Because but, you know, he does his job. He does his job. Now, final Bad Batch member, Crosshair, going in amazing with Omega. His damage is insane. Like, you can go, like, yes, you have to get the stacks of Shaken off of him, but once you get him to start hitting, he hits really hard. I use my Bad Batch to counter Balin all of the time, because once you get Crosshair, once you get all of his Shaken off, his big hit just eliminates Balin. Just absolutely no problem in 5v5 and in 3v3. He is super important, and he has multiple instances of damage on his basic as well, which is really nice for, say, getting down stacks of something like Bulwark or Resilient Defense. So Crosshair, absolutely up there with Omega, two most important members of the team. Now we come to Grandma. This is going to be something that then comes up with the next Conquest unit, is that when Jocasta Nu was released, she was both the best and the worst part of the team she was making, given that Temple Guard, Deppa, and Windu had not come out yet, meaning if you used her, you had to use her with Kelleran Beck, and the Vanguards limited you to not using Ki-Adi-Mundi or Jedi Knight Anakin, and then she ended up carrying the team, but only because you locked out the most powerful Galactic Republic Jedi. And no, in Grand Arena you can't use her with Qui-Gon Omicron, because she bypasses Qui-Gon's main mechanic, which is that no one can die until Qui-Gon does. Jocasta just completely eliminates that, and she just dies while Qui-Gon's still up. So you were heavily limited. And then Windu came out, and he is a team that exists. Jocasta really doesn't do all that much. I mean, she does quite a bit on the team, but the team itself doesn't do a ton. I'd put her in Reluctant Farm for two reasons. One, if you want to use her with Windu, like, to get everything you want out of Windu, you need to put Jocasta in there. However, what she brings as a conquest unit, I'd say she brings less to the team than Temple Guard. I think you kind of just need her for Windu. Although I will say she is quite good with Kelleran Beck lead if you put Temple Guard in there, and some other, like, Shakti, and other more powerful Jedi Vanguards, she can do well. But in her main team, and we'll get to the rest of her team later on. But next up we have Apo. Now, I'll put him in amazing. Mainly, like, yeah, I don't like Lord Vader. Yes, I don't think the clones actually add too much. I mean, Bo-Katan is still an easy counter. I've seen people say that Bo doesn't do all that well against Lord Vader clones, but for me, it does work every time. The only time it didn't was when they had the overpowered attacker Datacron. But I think the clones themselves, they do make the team better. I don't think they do it by a ton, but they definitely make it better, and I think they mostly shine on offense, and also they do cut out other counters like Fennec. So I think there is value to building up the clones. And Apo, uh, you definitely need him. He adds a ton to Lord Vader by making non-GL counters a lot harder, because you can't take out Apo until you take out Lord Vader. And is overall just a pain in the arse. He has a buff AoE buff dispel on his first special. And yeah, he's the core of the Lord Vader clones. Next up, CX2. I'll put CX2 in good. He's not as important as Apo, but I'm putting him in good rather than okay, because if you have his Omicron in 3v3, it can be a pain in the ass. It can be cheesed with Night Sisters, doing Mother Talzin, Merrin, and some other weak Night Sister. It can, if you've got Merrin's Omicron, it can be cheesed, but it doesn't always. I've had it before where I've managed to get Apo out, but then Talzin revived because she killed off the Nightfall Trooper, and then she came back, and then it ruined the counter. So it's not a super reliable counter, and the Omicron does make it just more of a pain in the ass to get through, really. Disguised Clone Trooper. I'm going to put him in Reluctant Farm, because if you're building the Lord Vader team, you need him. Mainly because Apo, Scorch, and CX2's kits don't really do a ton unless the allies are Lord Vader, Tarkin, or all Darkside clones. So you have to have him there, otherwise your team's not gonna work. But I don't think it really adds a ton. Like, the massive damage against, I think, what is it? Someone who's Order 66 and stunned, he deals massive damage. The actual specifics of that might be wrong, but like the damage he has is nice, but he's never really a problem for me when I fight Lord Vader. So yeah, he's there because you do need him, because it's a dark side clone, but he's not that necessary. Scorch, I'm gonna put in good. His Omicron is really good. It is more of a pain in the ass for Bo-Katan to get through it. Mainly a similar thing to Wrecker. It's his abilities aren't that, exciting, but he does eat a lot of hits. So, he does his job as a tank. So yeah, I think that's where he goes. Temple Guard, surprisingly enough, is going in amazing. Mainly limited mostly to his Omicron, where it just puts the weakest ally under captive. Absolute pain in the ass, especially going up against Windu in 5v5 and 3v3. if they don't have Temple Guard Omicron with Windu, I can just completely obliterate it with Enoch. As soon as you throw in that Omicron, you have to use Treya. The Temple Guard is more of a problem on the Windu team than Windu. And he's actually, in my opinion, better off in a Calaran Peck team. I just find it more tricky when they put someone under captive, especially because it doesn't require full vanguards. So you can have Beck, Jedi Knight Anakin, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Temple Guard, and I don't know, whoever, but you don't have to have full vanguards, and you still get the captive, and that's the main part of the Omicron. Besides the Omicron, he's a pretty decent tank. I say pretty decent. He's actually pretty good. Obviously, like, if you're bringing in Treya Omicron, yes, you're just going to isolate him. But even when you do, if you don't use the insta-kill on him, God, he's so beefy. He's just an absolute pain to get through. So, yeah, Temple Guard there. Dapper Billaba. Honestly, I would pass. She doesn't add a lot. Even, like, if you're getting Windu, you have to get Dapper, because she's a requirement. And then it's like, well, I guess you can use her with him. But in my experience fighting Windu, she hits sort of decently. I have no idea what any of her kit actually does. She's very boring, doesn't really do anything on the team. I would completely skip on Depper if she was not a requirement for Windu. Because at that point, well, you've built her up, you might as well use her. Now, Jedi Master Windu. Gonna put him in pass as well. Yeah. The most I've seen him do is he can sometimes take out a Jabba. I mean, to be fair, in Territory Wars he might be good, but I haven't seen him do anything amazing. And just to be clear, I don't have Windu, so this might be wrong, nor do I have any of the pirates that come up later on or fall on Manzucas. So my view might be wrong, but from my view, I wouldn't go for Windu, because I'm currently I'm close to getting Lord Vader, so I'm building up the clones. Once I get the Dark Side clones and Lord Vader, I don't see any point in getting Windu. I mean, I think I'll get Temple Guard, mainly just for his Omicron, and throw him in with Calaran Beck. Maybe I'll take, like, possibly do Jocasta and put those two on a team with Calaran Beck. But Windu, he doesn't do a lot. His event is boring. His kit is boring. His investigation, which looks like is supposed to be his main mechanic, doesn't do a lot. So, yeah, I wouldn't even bother getting Windu. Moving on. SM33. Same thing of Jocasta. When he was announced and released, he was absolutely shit. Because when he was first released, I don't think we even had a full team of pirates. Because the only pirates that we had that weren't new marquees were Sana, Hondo, and Nest. And I'm pretty sure by the time SM33 came out, I'm pretty sure Ithano wasn't even in the game yet. So you didn't even have a full pirate team that you could use him with. Now, as he has as we've got more pirates, we've got Hondo and Maz. I'm gonna put him in good. He deals some nice damage, and what's nice is he does work with Hondo. But if you don't have Hondo, does seem to do pretty well with Maz or any pirate lead. To be honest, even if it's just Ithano or Silver, because they've both got leads. Uh, Fairly plug and play. Plug and play in the sense of pirates, like whether it's Silvo or Athano, as you're building up to Maz or Hondo, he could be used fairly well, and he can be used with Maz. That can be pretty good. So if you're not planning on getting pirates, definitely skip him. But beyond that, I think pretty good. Captain Ithano. Oh, where do I put you? Where do I put you? Oh, okay. Oh, it feels horrible saying, but thinking in the context of the Maz team, who's the biggest problems? Maz, Kix, Quiggold. Ithano is just kind of there. I mean, he does boost Quiggold and Kix a nice amount, but I think the only reason you'd build Ithano up is either you're going for Hondo, or since you're building the Maz team, you kind of need him to boost Kix and Quiggold. I mean, like I said, I don't have the pirates built up, so this could be completely wrong. He might actually be way more important to the Maz team than I know, but that's where I'm going to put him. Quiggold, I'm going to put in good. Because, yes, he is the main... like Scorch, Temple Guard, and Wrecker. He's the tank of the team, and he does it pretty well, and he actually does hit fairly hard. Although that might have been Datacron related. I'm just thinking back to a GAC battle. But yeah, if you can't ignore Taunt, he is annoying. And if you have Ithano, then he's even more annoying because once you get him below a certain health, Ithano marks himself, so then you have to go after him before you get Quiggold. Yes, actually, you just realised. It might have been Datacron related because they had a healer cron on Kix and it made it really annoying. It might not have affected damage actually. But yeah, Quiggold, definitely putting him good. And that's actually where I'm going to put Kix, mainly because visually doesn't look like Kix does all that much. However, I think is passive stuff he does. I mean, he has a great heal and a revive, but beyond that, he doesn't seem to do much. But I think a lot of his stuff is the passive stuff. So I might be wrong. It might be that he should be an amazing or okay. So I'm going to put Kix there. I mean, you want all three of them on the Maz team. If you're going for Hondo, don't bother putting any of them with him, especially Kix, because he's light side. Now, Brutus. Pass. I mean, he's required for Hondo, but it kind of speaks volumes that what CG sold us was Maz, Ithano, Quiggold, Kix, plus whoever, and then Hondo, Silvo, Vane, Brutus, and SM33. Well, a lot of people actually swap out Brutus for the regular Hondo, mainly because with Hondo's captive, it makes the Zori counter pretty much impossible by locking someone down. If you have Brutus in there, Zori can roll over you. Like, it's not a super consistent counter. It's not like a ridiculously easy counter, but it is just a lot of Hondos Hondo owners are not even using Brutus. Some of them are throwing him in with Maz, kind of just to so they have a place to use him. But yeah, he goes in there. Vayne, in the context of the Hondo team, I'm going to put in amazing, because admittedly I haven't fought many Hondos, but those that I have, God is Vayne annoying. Not just that he's really beefy and hard to take out, but the mechanics he has with stealing buffs and taking debuffs for himself, and then it boosts the team. Oh, he's really annoying. And I think if you had Hondo without Vayne, Hondo would be so much easier to counter. Silvo. Ooh, where do I put Silvo? Because he has his turn meter steal mechanic that's on that one ability. That's basically all he's a one-trick pony. He has that thing, and nothing else about his kit matters, from what I've seen. So I might actually throw him in with Ithano for a similar sort of reason. So yeah, you want Silvo, because he does have this one thing that makes him quite nice, but I don't know what the rest of his kit does, to be honest. But yeah, again, might be in the wrong place because I don't have these pirates, but that's where I think he goes. Hondo, amazing, mainly because he's a really annoying GL to take out, especially going like against 2024 and looking at Ahsoka, and she actually being really weak, mainly because her conquest lifter doesn't want to be with her, and then she becomes super easy to counter. Well, SM33 does want to be with Hondo. If you don't have Hondo, you can throw him with Maz, but his full potential unlocks with Hondo, and he hits really hard. He is actually one of the first pirates you want to get down on the Hondo team. It's like SM33 is, because once you get him out, the damage kind of isn't there anymore. But yeah, Hondo, performance-wise, pretty good. He's got Smuggler's Run 3, which is a nice addition if you have Hondo. Yeah, pretty good in the raid as well. And his team is built into his requirements, minus SM33. But even without SM33, even if you just throw in like regular Hondo, or maybe even like Ithano or Quigold, if you don't have Maz, I think he is still pretty decent. Still a bit of a pain. But yeah, now down to our last 5 units of the year. And yeah, there are none of the new era units. Stormtrooper Han, Yoda and Chewie IG-90, or Dark Disciple Ventress. Mainly because they're not in the game properly, are they? They're not going to be in the game properly until February because of this new system. But next up we have Maz going into amazing. Oh, for the first few months where she came out, she was the bane of my existence because I was just seeing Maz everywhere, and she was so hard to take out. I had to use JML. I had no other counters for her. You don't need SM33. Like, Ithano kicks Quigold, and hell, even just throwing in Sana. Oh, Maz. Like, I'm going to be unlocking her soon after this conquest that ends in a few days. I'm going to have her, and I'm really happy about it. Because I know how annoying she is on defense. And also, she absolutely floors Lord Vader. And she is immune to the Bane counter. If you throw in Bane against her, well, you're not going to be hitting anything. So that's what she directly cuts out Bane. That's another reason why she's really good. Definitely, well, I would personally count Darkside Ray as a 2024 Conquest unit, because she was technically released this year, but most of her Conquest took place the year before, like last year. So discounting Ray, but she's on the list, so I put her in. Definitely the best Conquest unit, because Jocasta, SM33, mainly were just kind of nothings, especially when they first came out. Obviously, we don't know what Kamir's like. It's not going to be released until, well, actually in a few days. But he also doesn't have all his potential, because we have to wait for Spiderlegs Maul to come to the game properly, to be in the team. Now, this is a bit tricky. Trying to sort the ships, and the same thing with the characters, it's kind of... So, the Rogue One, I'm going to put in Amazing. Makes Profundity so much better. Doesn't change starting lineup either, because both this and the B-Wing are better off when they start in reinforcements. And makes Profundity absolutely destroy the Executor. Even gives it a shot at beating Leviathan. I have no notes. And it gives a use to Bodhi, because Bodhi and Pow are the pilots for this ship, so it gives you a reason to build up Bodhi. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. The B-Wing, I'm going to put in good. Or do I want it in Amazing? Oh, I don't know. I'll leave it in good for now. Because, yeah, he is... The B-Wing, wonderful. Great. Boosts Home 1 a lot. Gives it a shot at being things like Negotiator. I think it can even be Executors as well. Absolutely brilliant. Not really any notes, but I don't think it takes Home 1 as far as Rogue One takes Profundity, which makes sense because Home 1 is a starter fleet, Profundity is a GL fleet. But what the B-Wing did, taking the Home 1 from being something that basically no one used, because when they released Karkatar's ship, the Ravensclaw, and was like, this is to replace the Falcon in the Home 1 fleet, it was like, okay, this ship does absolutely nothing. It just didn't really do anything with the fleet and the leftover ships. It like, why would I use this? Like, prior to the B-Wing coming out, when it was announced, I had to farm the Ravensclaw because I didn't even have it unlocked. But makes Home 1 a lot easier. I use it all the time now. It's mostly Profundity, Home 1, and then Holdo. Yeah, really good. I am still debating whether it should be an Amazing or not, but I'll leave it in good. Forlom, I'm going to put Forlom and Zuckuss, the same sort of thing. I'm going to put them both in Pass, which I feel bad for saying, because on a Bounty Hunter team, specifically fully Darkside, they are quite nice. It is a pretty good team, but they're not necessary. You definitely don't need them. I can't see them doing anything that is so revolutionary that you should get them now. They're not required for anything either, so I can't even say they're reluctant farms. I genuinely have... It's not like Windu, where there's no point going after him because he adds nothing. Fulham and Zuckuss do add stuff to the team, but the team itself doesn't do enough to warrant building up 2 new characters, I think. I feel like you might as well just use a regular Bounty Hunter team with Mando and Grief. And... choking on my own hair. Yeah, just use a regular Mando and Grief team. And because of how GAC is, with numbers of teams, you don't need a second Bounty Hunter team. So, unfortunately, yeah, that's where they're going. So, in terms of favourites, ooh, conquest units. Let's do. Actually, no. Should we start from marquee? Marquee slash team. Slash team because it is as a whole. Definitely Omega and the Bad Batch. I do have bias because I absolutely adore the Bad Batch show. It's the main reason why I built their team up. So yes, I'm biased, but I love the team. I use it pretty much every Grand Arena. I use them in the raid. They're my highest scoring raid team at the moment. Very annoying because the main two mechanics are Undispellable Stealth and Marked. And in the raid, CG said, well, go screw yourself. You're not allowed to mark anyone. So it is literally like chopping two wheels off of a shopping trolley. But they do still get there. It just takes several tries. Now, what's the... Oh, ship. The Rogue One. Lists profundity greatly. I unlocked profundity not long before. I think it was like a couple months before Rogue One came out. And it did decently when it was a hell of a lot better than like using Negotiator because I don't have Executor or Leviathan, so getting a GL fleet made it really good, made it really easy to take out Negotiator because that used to be a really difficult fleet for me to take out, but the Rogue One takes it just so much further, and now I'm only ever really like 100% screwed is if my GAC opponent puts down Executor and Leviathan. Or Execution 2 GL fleets, basically. Because if they put Profundity down as well, it could be a pain. But because Profundity can take down Executor or Profundity or sometimes Leviathan. What I've seen, and in my experience, it mainly depends on the speed of the Leviathan or facing as to whether you get ultimate before it or not. But yeah, favourite ship, definitely the Rogue One. Now, we've got Journey Guide units and Conquest units. In terms of Conquest units, definitely Darkside Ray. If she wasn't on the list, if she was considered 2024, I definitely would have put Maz there. Sorry, Maz. But yeah, no competition really, especially when your other Conquest units are SM33 and Jocasta Nu. Yeah, they don't step to Maz and Ray. Just Maz, I feel, is not just slightly behind Darkside Ray. And now, favourite Journey Guide character. Who is it going to be? We all know it's going to be Hondo. Mainly because the only other Journey Guide unit was Jedi Master Windu, who I've put in pass. So yeah, obviously it's Hondo, just kind of by default, but also he's a really good character. He's a really good one, and his requirements actually aren't too bad. I mean, he does require 3 Relic 9s, but 2 of them were already required at Relic 8 for other GLs, and General Kenobi is a tank, so it just makes him even better. And even, like, the Marquee units, Ithano and Quiggold in particular, they're required at Relic 3 and Relic 5, which makes Hondo's Relics technically better than Ahsoka's Marquee units. But even the ones that, were legacy characters, you've got Vet Chewie and Scavenger Ray and Dooku, and, like, pretty much all of them were required for something. They were all required for GLs, except Hondo and Chirrut, and Hondo was needed at Relic 5 for Afra anyway. So out of new characters, the only ones you have to build from scratch is Chirrut. Assuming you got the other stuff, of course. But yeah, that is it. If I had to choose a favourite unit of the entire year, I don't know. I guess I'd choose Omega again, or maybe Ray. Yeah, actually, I think I'd say Ray. That's it. That's my ranking of everything we got this year. Again, I might have some of the rankings wrong when it comes to the pirates, and even like the bounty hunters and maybe the Jedi Vanguards as well. Mainly because they're teams I don't have, so I'm using less information than I have for, say, Bad Batch and Rey and the clones and the ships. But yeah, that's my ranking. Let me know what you think of it, and Happy New Year.